The Alabama dynasty is dead. With Nick Saban retiring, he rides off into the sunset. So does the Alabama dynasty. Saban was the dynasty, so even though I think DeBoer was an A-plus hire, and I think on the very, 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 very short list of realistic candidates that were the best case scenario, DeBoer is there. This is one of the best hires Alabama could have made. To me, the dynasty is still over because no one, no matter who you hired, is coming in and replicating the success Nick Saban had. No one is coming in and in a 15-year span winning 6 national titles and going to 9 championship games. We will never see that at Alabama again. We will never see that in college football again. The rules are geared to prevent dynasties. NIL, transfer portal, expanded playoff, it's all there to prevent what we saw Alabama and Nick Saban do the last 15 years. So no matter who was coming in to replace Nick Saban, the dynasty is dead. I say that to say this. Expectations for Kalen DeBoer should be realistic. Again, DeBoer, no matter who is coming in, Kirby Smart, which is not realistic, but even Kirby Smart coming in, no one is coming in and picking up where Saban left off. Get that in your head first and foremost. So now, when it comes to realistic expectations for Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, this is what I would expect, and I think is fair to expect from DeBoer going forward. Number 1, has Alabama in the top 10 consistently. Each and every year, a top 10 team. Has Alabama in the playoff consistently, especially now with the 12-team playoff. If DeBoer is there for 10 years, he has to be in the playoffs. I think it's fair to expect him to be in the playoffs 9 times out of 10. The SEC is any given year, three teams probably is on the safe side in terms of number of teams to make the 12-team playoff every year. You got to be, and they should be, bare minimum, one of those 3 teams each and every year. So top 10 team consistently every year, playoff team consistently every year, and I think you win a national title. You can absolutely expect DeBoer to come in and win a national championship. Is he winning 6? No. Is winning 1 a dynasty? No. But the expectation should be for him to come in and win a national title. Not win at the same level Saban has, but win, period, yes. Like, I think for me, what I think would be a successful tenure for DeBoer, if we're talking about, let's just say him 10 years from now, and he's still at Alabama, if he has replicated what we've seen the Ohio State program do the last decade, that is a win. Ohio State every year is a perennial top 10 team, more times than not a top 5 team, always churning out a lot of talent, especially on the offensive end, and with DeBoer being an offensive genius, you're going to have a ton of offensive talent on that side of the ball. So just like Ohio State churning out a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of receivers, a lot of running backs, that should be what you should expect from Alabama. And Ohio State the last decade, right, won the first college football playoff back in 2014, been to another national championship game in 2020, been to the playoff a bunch, won the Big Ten a bunch. That should be the expectation. Do they win every year? No. Have they lost to Michigan? Yes. Have they missed the playoff? Yes. But each and every year, they're a top 10 team. They're going, a bad year for Ohio State is 10-2. They're in the playoff, they're winning the conference, and they won a national title. If we are talking about Alabama a decade from now under Kalen DeBoer, the way we talked about Ohio State for the last decade with Urban and Ryan Day in that mix, that's a win. That to me is a massive win. That's absolutely realistic, and that's what you should expect. I think anything more than that is a win. Is a big time win, is a bonus, it's icing on the cake, which I hate that saying, by the way, just a really quick tangent, because what cake are you eating without icing on it? Every great cake should have icing on it. That's just like, it's a staple. I've never thought of baking a cake and just presenting it. Here you go, here's the cake, no icing. So maybe it's a sprinkles on top, maybe it's, I don't know, fudge on the side. We can work on this phrase, but you get my point. I think anything more than 1 national title the next decade anything more than being a perennial top 10 team is a massive bonus. But that should be the floor. Top 10 team in the playoff consistently, win a national title. That to me is what you can realistically expect from Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. He's not Nick Saban 2.0. No one is picking up where Saban left off. No one is winning 6 national titles and going to 9 title games in 15 years. That is 60%. 60% of the time last 15 years, Alabama was in the championship game. That is an unrealistic clip. Just remember that. So get your expectations right. Get your expectations correct. Saban 2.0 is not happening. But still expecting a national title, I think is fair. And I think DeBoer will deliver to Tuscaloosa here sooner rather than later.